All right, Rippers, good to see you again. Aloha, welcome. I hope you guys are all having a good day. I hope the weather's getting cooler where you are like it is here. Can finally get caught up on some things that I need to do, especially things outside. And the smoke's clearing up a little bit, so that's a good thing too. Well, it's still pretty smoky sometimes. Just depends on which way the wind's going and how many fires there decides to be out there, right? So here we go. We got a update on the PSA DPMS Ripper project, right? The 20-inch 223, right? And as you can see, there we is, looking pretty good, right? Right? Put in the comments, what do you think? Got our Vortex LPVO, or their version of LPVO, not LPVO, but a prism sight. It's like a 5 magnification etched reticle, lit reticle. It's got caps built into it, as you can see there. Right, we got our Nakstar sight on here. Now, one thing I'll tell you is about it. If I was to get one of these Nakstar, because I like the actual rail itself better, but when I tried to tighten it down, they actually just kind of spot welded or peened the end of the top, the cap on it. It's like they took and filed it down so thin that it just pulled the bolt right through, right? So that was... Good thing is I didn't ruin the threads necessarily, but it basically broke the top. So I went down to Lowe's, got myself here. Well, you see, that's what's great about Lowe's. You can see where it just pulled the thing on the bottom. That there is the old screw. So I just found the right threads and a stainless steel bolt with a round head on there to keep it low profile, so I could still see through the sights, which I can. It doesn't interfere with the sights. But it's stainless steel, it's Allen thread, or Allen head on it. That's gonna be much better for what we're doing. I'm able to put a good tight on there, right? And that's why I recommend, you're out there working on your guns, get yourself things like a torque wrench and whatnot, right? So you can get good torques down there, but even torquing it did it before it was torqued. So that being said, got that in there. Got our Geisley charging handle, as you can see on there, right? If I'm saying that right, Geisley, whatever. Now, the one thing I will say is, I didn't show you. Now, we got 5 magazines like I always recommend, but I found me a magazine that has a window on it. Now, if you go out there buying magazines and you don't mind paying $1 or $2 more, because they're not that expensive anyway, these P-Mags, go ahead and get yourself ones with the windows in it. That way you can have a quick look at how much ammo you have left in a magazine. Very important for, well, a lot of reasons, but mostly tactical reasons, so you know when you're getting close to a reload, right? You don't see any brass in there, you want to start being ready to think to yourself, well, I'm going to have to reload here soon. So be ready for that gun to run dry, or change the magazine out and just put this one back in your carrier so that you can use it as a last resort, right? So, and of course, we got our standard capacity magazine, right? And as you can see, we got the extended trigger bow on there. That looks really nice. We got now I decided to go with I like a straight single stage trigger on there, but I went with the Tapco. Let's see. I take that back. I went with the Rise Armament, right? I went with their single stage trigger. They're both 3.5 pound single stage flat triggers, but I went with theirs because this is a budget build, and those out of the two, both being budget, this was the Tapco, both being budget drop-ins, right? This one was the less expensive by like $10. So far, I like it a lot. It's got a nice clean here. We'll do a trigger test on it. All right, you can see we're clear. So I'll do it with my thumb here. Now watch. Oh, gotta take the safety off. Okay, watch. Not bad. Has a little bit of creep on it. It's not just a dead wall, but it's just got a little creep. And then we'll do the reset. You can see the reset on it. Just a little reset and then a break again, right? Very nice trigger, all of 3.5 pounds. Looking really good. We've got our bad lever on there, and I decided to go with the bad lever rather than the enhanced bolt catch on this side, because with this you can do both. You can lock the bolt back just with your finger, taking it. See, I don't even have to take it off the handle. I can pull the bolt back and lock it, right? And I can also drop it with my finger. So I don't have to take my hands off the controls, which I really like the idea of that. And especially if you practice with it, it works really smooth, right? Now some of my other rifles actually have a bolt catch that's part of the lower that's milled into those, but those are more expensive lowers when you do that, but it'll have a bolt catch here. Then what I would go with the enhanced one in case I have this hand on this side and I want to change with it, right? Just depends on the situation. You can see we put an ambidextrous safety on there. That works really nice and well, smooth. We went with the, we got the sling swivel attachment set on there, right? We got our cheek riser so that we have a good cheek weld and being able to look through the scope as well as the dot. You just got to, here's the scope, you pick it back up to be on the dot. Now as you can see, I keep dropping this cover on there, but that's your little cover for in transport to keep it. Of course that wouldn't be on there if you're out using it and whatnot, but to keep things under control there. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you is with this, even in its stock form, I could collapse the stock all the way, but of course I couldn't charge it, right? And that was a problem because even when when it's all the way out, I could still when it was all the way out, I couldn't charge the handle. See how close that gets right there to that? It used to be another, you can see this distance right here, it used to have another piece that came out here. Now fortunately in this molding there's ribs through here, so I just took it back to the first rib, took and cut it with my hacksaw, and then I just took some sandpaper and smoothed it down, and now it doesn't fill this gap here when it's collapsed, but that doesn't matter. But now when it's not, I can actually get the bolt to lock. Before, it was stopping me from keeping that bolt locked, right? Could you imagine? It was just a hair too much this way to keep this handle from coming all the way back. And boy, I gotta tell you, I like these Geisley or even Radian charging handles that are ambidextrous. Those are the way to go. We got, of course, our bipod on there on its mount. I like the way everything has really come together. So now you know what the next step is. Now, it's a little bit heavier of a gun. That's okay because it's 20-inch gun. It's meant to be more for accuracy and range. Is getting out to the range, and that's what we're going to be doing next. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to date with that we got all those things on there. You can give us an idea of how you think it looks, right? What you like about it, what you don't like about it. Now, one thing I can say is I always keep in my kit, whether it's in a bag or a pocket or a pouch, is a few rubber bands. So that way I can take this and rubber band things like that down, or rubber band a tourniquet onto the stock, anything like that, right? It comes in handy. Rubber bands, Velcro straps, things like that really come in handy. And you can get rubber bands in all kinds of sizes that you can use for all kinds of things. So I can't wait to get this thing out to the range and on paper for all of you guys to see. Till next time, stay safe, be secure, always be aware of your surroundings, always carry, and be staying ready and prepared and alert for what may come your way. And until next time, adios and aloha.